Maybe you're going through life and you're dealing with a toxic relationship. Maybe he's narcissistic, maybe he's not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you're in this relationship and you're constantly getting triggered. Now, what do I mean by getting triggered? I mean by something is happening on the other side or connected in this relationship that continues to frustrate you, that continues to spiral you out, that continues to make you react in a way. Have you ever had it where you're in this relationship and there's an argument, there's a fight, there's a silent treatment, a cold shoulder, whatever it might be, and this person continues to push your buttons to the place where you act and you respond in a way that you've never acted before? This whole aspect of you've gotten triggered to a place that has produced this reaction, this response, and you're like, that didn't even seem like me. When a narcissist or a toxic person is pushing your buttons over and over and over again, they're trying to trigger you. They're trying to get a response out of you. They're trying to get a reaction out of you. And the majority of times they do. And the reason why is because they're used to finding your insecurities, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, and putting all of this on display so that it hurts. And the whole goal for a narcissist is, how do I get you to respond the way I either want you to respond or react in a way that shows that I still have control over you? So you have to understand, if you're reacting to the narcissist, if you're getting triggered and how you're responding is a way that you don't actually like, the narcissist likes that. Because the narcissist knows, hey, I have control over you. I have control over your emotions. I have control over your feelings. I have control over your reactions. Many times when people get into this reality, they start to get to the place where they start to have what's called reactive abuse, where you start to come at the narcissist and it looks narcissistic from the outside. And people are like, whoa, that seems really abusive to him. But they don't see all of the subtle things that have been happening underneath the surface that make you go crazy to actually respond in such a negative way. And reactive abuse, everybody wants to focus on your reaction. Well, this is what you did. This is how you responded. This is the plate that you threw at him because you got so upset. This is you shaking him because he's been silent for over a month. Like, this goes on and on. But people always focus on the reaction, not on the actual action that leads to this. So, like, you might be struggling today and you're like, I feel like I'm addicted to this toxic person. I feel like I'm struggling because I'm dealing with these triggers and these triggers keep going off and I don't feel like I can control them. What I want you to understand is that you can control them. And the moment you lose your power, the moment you say, hey, these triggers are controlling me, means that you're no longer in control of them. You start to lose your power to be able to actually affect the difference. It leads you down a road that leaves you in a victim mentality. I know you don't want to stay there. I don't want you to stay there because I want you to actually move from a victim to a survivor to a thriver, someone who continues to grow and develop who you are. But in order to do that, we need to actually deal with the triggers. Like, you need to actually deal with the things that are affecting you on a day-to-day basis. How do you actually do that? We teach a system inside of Raw Motivations of dealing with the triggers on a day-to-day basis. And oftentimes it's taking a moment and it's pausing and it's stopping for a second to be like, wait a second, what's actually going on? The narcissist wants to keep you in a fog, keep you confused. So you don't actually know what's happening. You don't understand what he's doing, how he's talking, how he's indicating. So we take a moment, we're like, hey, let's take a moment, let's take a pause, and let's actually look at the facts. What are the facts of the situation? What's actually being discussed? What's actually happening? Because otherwise, your emotions will get the better of you and spiral you out. Control the frame, control what you're actually doing. So we take a look at what are the actual facts of the things that are happening. Then as you take a look at the facts, you're like, okay, is this actually real? Like, I want to fight him on this. I want to react in this way. But the facts say this is how it's going to turn out. This is how he's going to show up. This is what he's going to do. And all of these things continue to go back and forth in your mind. You're like, but I need to do this. But this happens. And all of these triggers will continue to drive your actions until we get clear about what are the actual facts. Then we have to understand, what is the story you're telling yourself? You might have a story that's playing through your head that's telling yourself, hey, this is what I need to do. I'm not good enough without him. He has to be in my life. This is a trigger that made me react this way. I can't control that. That's just a piece of me that I can't deal with. So there's all these different stories that are going through your head. And then as we start dealing with the stories, then we have to realize, hey, some of these actually aren't true. Some of these actually aren't real because they're based on feelings. They're not based on actual facts. And then helping you get to a place of like, okay, what do I actually need to believe? What's actually true in this relationship? That's like the nutshell version of how we start to work with people to help them break through the triggers that is affecting you on a day-to-day basis. If you're struggling with a trigger right here today, I want you to shoot me a DM that says just the word triggers. Of like understanding, hey, you feel like you keep reacting in a way that's negative. You feel like you keep reacting in a way that makes you look like the bad parent. You keep reacting in a way that all of a sudden is like, this isn't who I am, but this is how I'm showing up. I'm showing up toxic in this way. I'm showing up in a bad way, and you don't want to do that. Narcissists will poke and prod you in so many different ways to make you feel crazy and to make you react. Now, when we talk about narcissistic supply, a lot of times people think narcissists are looking for this reaction that's always a positive one, right? Like, I love you, I care about you, admiration, respect, all this kind of stuff. But also, it can be a negative one. A narcissist can twist what you say, and you're like, hey, this is something of like, I love this person. And then you can say, I hate this person. The narcissist will still twist it. Oh, she still thinks about me. Oh, she still cares about me. Oh, I'm still the best thing ever because this person's still obsessed with me. He will twist it around to suit his own means. So you need to understand, like, no matter how you're responding, like, you have to start working on you because he's not going to change. He's not going to adjust. You can't fix him. You have to start working on you. That's the only thing. But right now, if you're dealing with the triggers and the triggers keep affecting you so much, it makes it really hard to work on you. Triggers with a narcissist are like these like ties, these like binds that go around you and draw you back to the toxic person. And until we get rid of one, we can't get rid of two. Until we get rid of two, we can't get rid of three. We have to slowly work through what are all the triggers in your life that is affecting you and having you respond in the way you're responding. That makes you feel crazy. It might make you feel like you're even the narcissist because you're confused, being like, hey, this is how I respond toxic, but what's the action that's leading to the reaction? If you're struggling today with triggers and how you're showing up and what is actually going on inside of you, I want you to shoot me a DM that says triggers, just so I know, and just so we can start a conversation to be able to see how can I actually help you move forward so that the triggers no longer affect you. We see people that have gone through some of our programs that are completely like shut off from the triggers, like they're not even going to affect them anymore. We've got to a place that they've eradicated certain triggers in their life because it no longer has a hold, no longer has a power over them. They run into the narcissist. They see his car. They hear the song on the radio, and it doesn't have the same effect as what it does on you right now. So if you're feeling crazy, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling triggered by this over and over and over, I want you to shoot me a DM that says triggers. Reach out to you to be able to help you move forward in the healing process. I had like a call buzz through on my cell phone and like screwed everything up. So hopefully you heard that. Hopefully it makes sense. Otherwise, we'll probably like lose this live as we get ready to finish it. But I want you guys to go through life and not have to be triggered anymore. Okay. And it's hard, but we do provide a step-by-step system that helps you release the triggers, eradicate the triggers so they no longer control you. If you're interested in that, shoot me a text, shoot me a DM that says triggers. If you're already online, you want to be able to book a call, you can go to rawmotivations.com. I'd love to be able to help you move forward in the healing process.